And I'm back. The Adrienne Ross Show. I'm Adrienne Ross, of course. Remember, A to Z, Adrienne is on it. And right now, we're going to hit a B again. We're going to talk a little bit more basketball. I said that I was going to talk to you about what I expect in the second half of the season. When the WNBA comes back, when they start after this Olympic break, what can we expect? Specifically, what can we expect from Caitlin Clark and the Fever? And what can we expect from the Phoenix Mercury, specifically Diana Taurasi, when she takes the court, when her Phoenix Mercury take the court against Caitlin Clark's Fever on next Friday? Actually, at this point, it's this Friday because today's Sunday. So this Friday. Well, interesting, the WNBA in its scheduling it always baffles you, right? So Phoenix's first game out of the break will be against Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. That game is scheduled for Thursday. And the Fever's first game is Friday against Phoenix. So Phoenix will go back to back against Chicago and then against the Fever. So what do I expect as this second half of the season rolls out? Well, I am sure we're going to continue to hear about the Rookie of the Year race. If we've been hearing about it as much as we have already, as we get closer to the season winding down, we're going to hear about it more and more. People are going to make their case more and more. And remember, it's the media, oh my goodness, who get to decide. And teams are gunning for playoff spots. Obviously, the Fever, that was their goal coming into the season, to get an opportunity to get back to the playoffs. And then when they started their season and we were looking at how terrible they looked at that time, the coach said, well, we're just going to take it one game at a time. But right now, if the season ended, they would be in a playoff. They would have a playoff spot. So we saw early in the season, throughout the season, really, how Caitlin Clark was being played, even in an all-star game. Remember that? But we saw some of the rough play, the non-basketball stuff as well, and some obvious dislike for her from some players. And, you know, I want to believe that after the all-star game, when players got a chance to kind of hang out together and maybe get to know each other a little bit and play together, I want to believe that whenever those things happen, there becomes a mutual respect. And so my hope is that when they come back in, all of that other nonsense will be pushed aside and it'll be strictly basketball. It won't be, let's, go after Caitlin Clark. Let's, look at, what's going on with this officiating, which many of us are wondering. Hopefully that's not a case. Hopefully it's just basketball. It's not, she's getting the attention because she's white or, whatever. It just just maybe, after spending a little bit of time and having some fun, maybe it'll be a different story and it'll be strictly basketball. Now, I know there are some people who are saying, absolutely not. It's going to be ramped up even more. And that may very well be the case. You can let me know in the comments. Let me just insert here. If you have not subscribed to the Adrienne Ross Show, please do subscribe and comment as well, and like, and help with the algorithm, and let's grow together in this community. All right, so that's my hope, but I know there are people who are not hopeful. They think it's going to get even more physical. It's going to get even more dirty. I don't know, but I do know this. I believe that when Diana Taurasi steps back on the court in the United States of America, I believe she's going to feel like she's got something to prove. In spite of all the years, in spite of everybody saying she's the GOAT, in spite of all that, I don't think that she, as a competitor, the competitor that she is, she's not happy, as I said in the last video, with what went down in Paris, that she barely scored. She was riding the bench the whole game of the gold medal. the gold medal game, she was riding the bench. And everybody's already talking. Everybody had already been talking that perhaps, maybe at 42 years old and not performing as she has been known to perform, and certainly not outperforming Caitlin Clark, all the talk had been maybe Diana Taurasi should have a seat and not be in this particular Olympics. And I believe we see that that mindset was right. And of course, then you had the other camp who said she's the GOAT. Who else, who would take her place, blah, all that stuff. She's hearing it all. She doesn't have her head stuck in the sand somewhere. She's hearing it all. And I guarantee you, being Diana Taurasi, the person who breaks in the rookies, feels like she still has something to prove. And I believe that when she faces Chicago on Thursday, she's going to be trying, unless she's injured or something that we didn't know about, and that's why she didn't play in the gold medal game. No. But other than that, she's going to feel like she has something to prove. And then for sure enough, when she gets to play Caitlin Clark and the Fever, she's going to feel like she's got something to prove. In particular, they have lost 2 games. The Mercury lost 2 games to the Indiana Fever. And Caitlin Clark has done her thing. Now, the second game, Diana did not play. I'm telling you, she's going to want to show that she's still the GOAT, that Caitlin Clark cannot handle her, and that she's Diana Taurasi, even at 42 years old. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that she's going to have something she feels she needs to prove. And so she's going to come and bring it, which is exciting for us because, yeah, we want to see competition. Remember, Diana Taurasi was the one who said that these rookies, including Caitlin Clark, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're about to come into the league, play against a 42-year-old who needed some rest and should have stayed home during the Olympics. And you're about to get your welcome to the W moment. And Caitlin Clark has lived up to the hype. And now she's had rest. So I expect Taurasi to come out with something to prove. And I also expect that Caitlin Clark is going to also come out, rested up. And from what I heard something that says, all right, she's got her shot back, her shot's falling, she's got some fresh legs. Teams had an opportunity to build, some more camaraderie, and they've got an opportunity to work on some things. I think that they are seriously going to try to make this hard push for the playoffs. There's not a lot of time left. So they're gonna be ready to rock and roll. And I'm hoping and believing that we're gonna see some of the Caitlin Clark that we were seeing the assists and stuff, but her shot wasn't falling as much. We're going to see more of the assists. We're going to see more shots falling, I believe, than we were seeing toward the end of that first half. But Taurasi's going to come out in that game on Friday, I'm sure, and I do believe she feels she's got something to prove. But I also believe we're going to see some better play and prayerfully some better coaching from the Indiana Fever. And we're in for an exciting second half of the season. I know there are people, when this season started, were counting the Fever out. I don't know. I have a feeling they might surprise us. So looking forward to the season starting up again, particularly on Friday when the Indiana Fever take on the Phoenix Mercury. Let me know what you think in the comments. What are your expectations for the second half of the season concerning any of the players I mentioned, the teams I mentioned, the races for awards I mentioned, etc.? What's your expectation? All right. Let me know what you think. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. God bless you. And God willing, I'll catch you next time.